and Rio and Chevy.
Propagating truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the John H. Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the Anomic Age, and I am your host, John Age. Happy to be back with you once again, taking you into the dark side of the AM. Please check out anomicage.com, where you can find all things me. iPhone app, Android app, subscribe by email link, buy me a cup of coffee, the Patreon link. It's all right there at anomicage.com. I can't underscore this enough because I never talk about it, but I should. Please consider making a donation, becoming a patron. Buy me a cup of coffee's lovely lightning address there. You can send me Satoshis if you're into that. The Cash App, it's all right there at anomicage.com. So please do consider becoming a patron, making a donation. You can do this one time. You can do this multiple times, however you'd like. It would just help me out. It would help the show out and help us to grow a little bit because it ain't easy. It ain't easy out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all ages. I assure you it ain't easy. So you can go right there to anomicage.com and you can do all that and so much more. In case you missed it, we definitely got the iPhone app and the Android app down there at the bottom. Subscribe by email, link, and the free newsletter too. We got a lot of guests in the catalog, and got a lot more guests coming up too. I've never even discussed who's going to be on the show very rarely until they're actually on the show. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to keep cards close to the vest and just say we're taking the show in a different direction. We got some different show guests than you might have expected, but that's exactly what I want to do. It's by design. It's not that I just don't want to. Well, actually, it kind of is. I'm just kind of done with the political angle, the conspiratorial. It's all just a bunch of hooey, folks. It really is. So I'm going to take us in a little bit of a different direction. If you want to hang out with me while we do that, I'd love for you to. Don't worry, we're still going to pepper in with the usual suspect kind of mumbo jumbo too. But I'm just tired, man. I'm tired of all the baloney. I'm going to take us in a different direction. At least in the coming shows, I hope to do that anyway. And hopefully in the coming year too. So, we got that coming up. So, we've made it through Saturnalia. Thankfully, folks, we made it through Saturnalia. I won't even get into the weird stuff going on over the holidays. Just on the personal side of things. It's not been easy, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't easy. So, we made it through Saturnalia. We got, for all you pagans out there, the Roman holiday of Janus is coming up. Those of people in the West are just going to call it New Year's Eve, but it's the celebration of the Roman god Janus. That's where that came from. Just as in New Year's Eve, there's vows and a bunch of booze, and that's exactly what goes on with the celebration of Janus too. It occurs at this time of year. It involves the celebration with a lot of spilling of wine and a lot of vows to the deity of Janus. So that's exactly where the New Year's Eve holiday comes from, folks. So I hope you're into paganism because that's what's coming up here in about 24 hours. We got a big pagan holiday, so get ready. Get your party hats on. Do some streamers if you want to. Celebrate Janus. Just as you just celebrated Saturnalia. And we got another one coming up in February. Yeah, we got to get the Februaries out. Because we got another holiday coming up then. Leprechalia is coming up in February, folks. February 14th, it's Leprechalia Day. Another lovely Roman holiday with lots of red and lots of hearts and lots of amor. That's what it's all about. It goes a little deeper than that if you want to get into it. It's involved a little bit more than just the amor. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, we ain't getting into that. We'll get into the obvious. I mean, the obvious Saturnalia and the obvious Janus holiday, all from the Romans, all pagan. It's back when we used to have a 13-month calendar with 28 days each, and that was all, of course, changed by the Romans too. In case you missed all that. But probably someone's going, John, I don't want to talk about holidays. I'm a proper pagan, and I celebrate my holidays. Do it. What I want you to think about this evening is not that. Nay, 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 nay. Got to get this film started. Why isn't this film playing? My heavens. There we go, folks. We got to talk about this. This is exactly what we're getting into this evening. This evening, folks, we're staring. Get out of here, you bunch of bibbity bobs. We're sitting at December 30th, year of our Lord 2025. That's right. And we're going to cover exactly what you think we're going to cover this evening. A little bit of faith loss. Shout out to the band Faith Loss. I do believe there was a band called Faith Loss here in the coastal plains of the old North State, if I'm not mistaken. So, Faith Loss. Kind of borrowing your band name to make my episode title, because we got some faith loss to talk about tonight, folks. Nothing but faith loss. I was darn near close to just calling this Humiliation Ritual Episode 5, because that's really all this is. It's a continuation of the same thing we've talked about for about 2 months now. Humiliation Ritual after bloody humiliation ritual. That's exactly what all this is, folks. And we're going to cover everything that I mentioned in the show description. Fear not. But at its heart, en el corazón, is nothing more than the obvious. It's a humiliation ritual on a global scale, fixated right here in los Estados Unidos, con los gentes aquí, with the people right here, folks. That's the mainstay of what this is all about. That's who this humiliation ritual is targeting. You know, I was thinking about this because I already discussed this on the previous episode. So many of the entertainers, if you can call them that, from Frankie Valli to David Lee Roth to guy from Motley Crue, whatever, Vince Neil, all these people, humiliation ritual, folks. That's what this is. They sold their souls, and they have to pay the tolls. That's what's going on. You can't just bow out gracefully. You can't just go into retirement. They want their pound of flesh. Siempre, siempre. Always, folks. Always and always. They want that pound of flesh. And I'm sorry, I can't buy into the fact that everybody I just rattled off, and you could fill in the blank with whoever else you want to. I see this 8 days a week and twice on Sunday now. You cannot tell me that every one of these people are so bankrupt and destitute that they have to come out here and, in essence, OnlyFans themselves out on the big stage just to get a little scratch. I ain't buying it, man. I think there's something deeper involved in this. I think it is that pound of flesh. I think it is the humiliation ritual. I think it's part of that. You signed this contract many years ago, and you know what that means. You got it. You can either lose a loved one, or you can just keep going out there and dancing on the stage, doing the little minstrel show for these boobs. Who was it I saw? Kevin Spacey, that molesting homosexual predator, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know, man. Kevin Spacey is, I guess, in Tel Aviv doing a little minstrel show out there because somehow they won't let him back into those hallowed halls of Hollywood. The global satanic death call to pedophiles, you know? Yeah, they won't let old Kevin Spacey back in there. I mean, how bad do you got to be for that to go on, man? That's pretty wild, isn't it? Humiliation rituals all over the place, man. I can't think of, what's that guy's name? Oh, boy. The guy in the Lost Boys. The guy was out there doing those good guitar solos. What the heck is his name? Then we take it over. Let's go put me on the main screen and we'll see. Boy, I can't think of that guy's name. That's him. That's him. God darn it. Corey Feldman. He's out there doing the shakety shake still. It's sad. It's pitiful. Maybe he's just doing it because he loves what he's doing, John. Maybe that's it, buddy. I hope so. But I swear if it don't look like a humiliation ritual to me. And then we got the ongoing humiliation ritual of DJT, known by his cult followers as Donald John Trump. Somebody posted this on the social media about 30 minutes ago. I responded because it was so darn good. But they were suggesting and floating out there that all these different people are actors. And I said they are all actors in the stage that we live in. The world, the Matrix, that's just where these actors act. Because they were suggesting that Candace is an actor, and Charlie Kirk an actor, and Erica Kirk an actor. And I threw out for good measure, don't forget DJT is an actor too. And Zelensky also. They're all actors, folks. Please don't think they're your people. Please don't be so stupid to think they're like you. They ain't like you, folks. So whenever you're doing, what's it that the common people like you, that great old song from Pulp, I believe. Please don't get it twisted. Don't be mistaken and think that you are like them, because you aren't. These people don't go to grocery stores, folks. Come on. Don't be that stupid. You might see some of these actors and actresses and musicians, even you might even bump into some of them in grocery stores. I'm talking about the upper tier puppeteers, as Propaganda called them, the upper tier puppeteers. These are the people you ain't finna bump into in the grocery. Remember that? What was it, old George Bush, the original, the OB, the original Bush, came out and was saying something just completely foreign and completely out of kilter about shopping. And it came out like, yo, man, he even admitted, I don't go shopping. I haven't been shopping. I haven't been to a grocery store in decades. They're not like you, folks. They're not like common people like you. They're not. It's just a sham, a hustle, a con, and a dodge. But DJT is doing the biggest of all humiliation rituals. It's sad, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's sad because people still believe in this jive mess. People still believe in these jive turkeys. It's past Thanksgiving. It's turkey time no more. It's time to move on from these turkeys, don't you think? I do. So DJT, the ongoing humiliation ritual, I believe it is number 5 now. 5 times he has met with Bibi Netanyahu, the person who's really controlling you. He's met with Bibi 5 times. He ain't even been in office a year yet. He's met with Bibi more times than old bonkers Biden met with that person. In 4 years. He's met more times in less than a year than that boob Biden met with him in 4. He's all the time schmoozing and whining and dining this clown. Put this on the screen again. We got to have this on the screen because he got to see how ridiculous this seems. Looks like he's whispering sweet nothings in his ear. Maybe he's just about to give him a little smoochy. A little smoochy smooch. A little BB smooch. Is that what's going down here? Is that what's happening, folks? BB about to lean in, maybe put a little arm around him and give him a little kissy kiss. It sure looks like it. Anyway, so what you're seeing on the screen is a depiction from yours truly about what I really think's going down. It's faith loss, folks. It's humiliation on an epic scale, and we're all in on the gag. Or at least you should be in on the gag. I mean, some people are still just oblivious to the obvious. I'm making perfect sense, but I'm not getting through. So saith propaganda, and so saith me to you. It's really what we got going on here. It's a humiliation ritual. We're all in on it. We are all getting humiliated right along with our dear and fearless leader of the free world. I can't even say free world in a straight face. So we got DJT getting pimped out by the pimp, BB. So BB is the pimp. What do you think, old DJT is. He'd be the hoe. You're right. And speaking of hoes, you can't say hoe without talking about Rubio. Marco Rubio. I wish I had a picture of that boob. I could put him on the screen for you. Dear old Marco Rubio. He apparently got the meeting with Bibi too. I guess this was in Mar-a-Lago. That's where everybody happens to go, I suppose. So Bibi met with DJT in Mar-a-Lago yesterday. And I guess he met with Rubio too. Because Rubio assured Bibi, hey, don't worry. Don't worry, Biebs. We're going after those people that dare to besmirch the great name of our greatest ally, Israel. Yeah, we're going after them hard, Bibi. Don't you sweat it, man. We got Dan Bongino, a.k.a. Barney Fife 2.0, doing his little kung fu moves. Remember that? Just like Barney Fife in the great episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. I'm talking about the black and white ones, not those horrible color renditions. That's just balderdash. So anyway, we got the assurance from Marco to Bibi that no blasphemous talk shall be allowed. The minister of truth will swoop down with their talons raised and erase any negative talk of our greatest ally. And they will be swiftly brought to justice, unlike all of those politicians and quote-unquote elites that are pedophiles and child traffickers. They shan't be touched. No, not by the FBI, not by the Department of Justice, not by Kash Patel, and certainly not by Barney Fife, the long gone, I hope by now, Dan Bongino. They ain't touching none of those people. And Bonnie ain't touching them either. Okay? We ain't touching the real criminals. We're going after people that exercise free speech and criticize our greatest ally. Because after all, as DJT said a couple months back, you ain't real MAGA unless you're still on my bandwagon. Unless you are still sipping the Kool-Aid with the proper pinkies out at Mar-a-Lago in the new upgraded ballroom you see. Sipping your tea with DJT. Unless you're doing that, you ain't real MAGA, folks. Just keep that in mind. So what we have, folks, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all ages, those of you who still identify as human, is we're beginning to see, maybe just the rumblings of. I don't think we're really seeing this on the scale that we should, but we are beginning, just un poco problemas por Presidente Trump. Just a little bit of problems. Because the people are beginning to do the inversion of Rip Van Winkle. They're beginning to wake up and go, what? What the? You mean, you mean Trump's not our fearless leader? He's not going to go after the criminals? He's not even going to lie to us anymore and tell us, because you'd be in jail. With Hills. He ain't going after Hills. He ain't going after Bill. He ain't going after Big Mike. He ain't going after Barry Soetoro. Who's that other? I almost said something real there. Who's that other boob that was doing the seashells in the sand thing? I can't even think of his name. Let me look up seashells. I can't think of that guy's name, man. James Comey, that's him. Oh, James Comey missed the seashells in the sand. That old song, I was pulling muscles from the shell. Maybe James was pulling something from the shell. Trump ain't going after Comey. Trump ain't going after anybody that was involved in the Anthony Weiner laptop. Y'all must be tripping. That's what I've been so critical of in the last 48 hours. All these boobs, ne'er-do-wells, carpetbaggers, and homo Romeos out there posting all this mess. The conservatives posting all this mess about Pam Bondi doing nothing. You need to fire Pam Bondi. She ain't doing nothing. Yeah, kind of like Patel and kind of like Bongino, huh? Or it all falls back on that same cat, doesn't it? That's how it is at a job, you know? At the end of the day, the chips fall where they may, but you know where it all goes? The same place, folks. To the head of that company. To the boss. El Jefe. And it all falls on the boss, man. I don't care how much you want to say, oh, it's a hard job, and he just can't get the right people in, and he's just overwhelmed by the corruption, and yeah. Times are tough, folks, especially for those people that ain't making billions of dollars a year like the common people. That's who times are really tough for. But DJT's going to get up on TV and spin his yarn and say, we got an A++++++ economy. I don't know who that's for, but it ain't for me. It ain't for you. I can guarantee you that. I love old Gerald Celente, man, and I don't say old with any disparaging tone. The great Gerald Celente, because I learned this from him on probably a decade ago now. He said this and it stuck with me. He said, it's not about Wall Street. If you want to know how the economy is really percolating, you got to look at Main Street. And I don't know about your Main Street, but my Main Street out here is looking kind of bare. Got everything getting shut down, but you got plenty of Agenda 21 housing just flying up all over the place. So I don't know how in the bleep people are actually doing it. Maybe everybody's on OnlyFans. Maybe everybody's working 4 or 5 jobs. Maybe everybody's just putting it on credit. I heard something, I think this was another quote from DJT from yesterday. It said something to the effect of something big's coming or some BS. And I said, what do you mean, DJT? You mean like nobody getting arrested for pedophilia and trafficking? You mean like nothing being done about the January 6th criminals that orchestrated that event? You mean still got people from January 6th that have not been pardoned in D.C. Guantanamo? You mean like that? You mean not going after Anthony Weiner, not going after the election theft, not going after any of the big ticket items? It seems almost funny now, doesn't it? So that's exactly what we got going on as far as the ongoing humiliation ritual. And what this is really causing is, I would suggest to you, a further faith loss. A loss of faith. So you can look at this on a myriad of scales. You can look at it as a loss of faith in self, the macro and the micro. You look at that, a loss of faith in community, in culture, in country, and of course a loss of faith in leadership, and even a loss of faith on the religious or deity side of things too. You can look at it through various lenses. But for today's lesson class, por la lección hoy, we're going to tackle the obvious. A loss of faith in leadership. And I would say that this is a sort of trickle-down effect. Just like I said before, the fish rots from the head. And as the head rots, then the culture rots, and all things subordinate to the head are rotting. So nobody, at least with any sort of gray matter, should have any faith in DJT, in my humble opinion. I mean, you still got AJ out there just going to bat 8 days a week and twice on Sunday for DJT. That's about it. Everybody else is kind of wised up. Maybe everybody else is not getting the same kind of money as AJ is. I don't know. But this is what I wrote down on this. What we got going on? These are statements and facts that have come very clear in the last few days. These are pretty much quotes from DJT. Bibi's doing great. We can't question him. And he needs to be pardoned. And this was in response to people criticizing Bibi as being the blatant war criminal that he is. You know, a lot of countries, he can't even show up. They'll arrest his butt. Here in America, we roll him out red carpet, put him in the finest resorts, give him security, And even DJT will take him to Mar-a-Lago. This is a war criminal, folks. This is a scumbag that's orchestrated false flags events like the October 7th garbage. Still killing women and children. The hilarity of the ceasefire is just comical. People are still like, oh, it's still a ceasefire. Yeah, sure. And so we got those paraphrases from DJT in the last 24 hours. Oh, Bibi's doing great. We need to pardon him from all wrongdoing. We will go to war with Iran at the behest of our greatest ally once again. So once again, we're going to put American lives in danger, and we're going to fund this war machine to the tune of countless billions of dollars. I just quit even counting. So much the same way we're going to war against, Palestine, and we're also now going to war with Iran. Anybody read the PNAC documents? Remember that? Remember the PNAC documents? There were some countries on that list of countries we were going to go to war with. And they needed a new Pearl Harbor to galvanize public support for that. Remember that PNAC document? Wolfowitz, Cheney, Rumsfeld, the like. Anybody thinking about that at all? Nah, me neither. It's stupid. So we're going to war with Iran. But don't forget there's more, because also we're now bombing Venezuela. That came out yesterday. We're bombing Venezuela. So in essence, we're going to war. We're going to third world despot country in South America. It just happens to be like the largest oil producing country in the world. Oh, did you miss this? We also did some piracy in the last month. Piracy tactics as the U.S. took out two Venezuelan oil tankers. We didn't take them out as in blew them up. We just took them over. So just like any pirate shows up, takes over the vessel, flies the flag of that country or the skull and crossbones in piracy of the 1800s, 1700s. I don't know why. Maybe they did. I just didn't see the clip. Maybe they did fly the skull and crossbones flag on those two pirated vessels from Venezuela. I hope so. That seems pretty much accurate, doesn't it? What else? Oh, yeah. I already covered this one, but Rubio met with Bibi and basically said, yeah, no criticism of Israel will be tolerated. We're going after these scumbags. Anybody that's quote-unquote anti-Semitic, which basically just means you have eyes to see, ears to hear, you've read a couple things, and you actually know, understand, and have verified that. You know what? Israel's a nation that came out of 1948. This is not Israel the Bible. Israel the Bible is a person. And this has no bearing on anything. This is illegitimacy 110%. These people aren't even the actual Semitic people. This is conquered territory. Or should I say just given territory. Conquered territory would be like the Spaniards who conquered Mexico. Given territory is what happened at the barrel of a gun. Given territory to Israel in 1948. So that's where we are with this whole sham, hustle, dodge, con, and jive. It's just ridiculous. So again, fish rots from the head. So as the confidence decreases in our greatest ally, excuse me, I was Freudian slip there, in the confidence of our leader, who really is just working for Israel, that's Trump. As the confidence wanes, you're going to see less and less confidence in the citizenry amongst the people with the American brand, which has already been decimated by K-12 indoctrination, college, university weaponization for the last 60 plus years. You've had people brainwashed to hate themselves, hate whitey, hate anything American, hate anything masculine, and of course hate anything Christian. So we've already been imbued with that for 60 plus years. So now, as the fish rots from the head, as the confidence wanes in our dear, fearless leader, the confidence will continue to wane exponentially with the American culture, the product itself. Nationalism will go down. It's just morale. It's really all it is. When you heard these sort of statements, winning hearts and minds, when America does empire and conquers other countries. That's really what it's all about. We are there to spread freedom and love and peace and generosity and caring as we destroy your village and kill your family and say we're doing it for your own good. That's kind of the stuff that America does. But the winning in hearts and minds thing is legit. Because if you can convince the people that you're doing this for their own good, then they'll go along with the gag. And it's the same way that patriotism, nationalism, what have you, works in America too. So if people are flush with support for the president, then people will feel more bold, more stand up, more patriotic, more nationalistic. But we don't have that anymore because we are experiencing a what class? A faith loss. That's right. Faith loss indeed. So really what I'm saying is things are only going to get worse. I mean, you don't want me to be black-pilled. You want me to just tiptoe through the tulips and whistle past the graveyard and just cover some basic stuff. And it's all going to be all right. It's going to be great. It's not, okay? So as the fish rots from the head, as the support of the president wanes, as the faith in the president wanes, the people will begin to turn. They're too ballless to actually get their pitchforks and do anything about it. But the people will gnash teeth, rend garments, wring their hands. Oh, I wish he, oh, and he's doing so bad. But that's all the American people even have the stomach to muster anymore because they're such a bunch of weak, sniveling cowards. But we're going to see the continuation of that as the morale goes south with the general public. As a result of that, as always, it's going to be kind of like Lord of the Flies, where the citizenry is going to begin to turn on itself. That's where the divide and conquer play always comes in. But just the exacerbation of the divide and conquer. It'll be the exacerbation of gay and straight, Christian versus everything else. It's going to be the men versus the women, the darks versus the lights. That's what it's all about. That's where we see this continued exploitation of small divisions that will become greater crevasses as things go south. So look for things to really go south in the summer because everybody's going to get more and more whizzed off. Everybody with even the most basic concept of political anything is going to go, yo, this is all a big yarn. Nothing's happening. I'm ticked off now. The economy stinks. We're going to war again with another stupid country that means nothing to us. And we're getting whizzed off. That's really what's going to continue to occur. And as this does, you're going to see some false flags, especially as the summer comes. And you're also going to see just the proliferation of discord. People are just going to get more and more amped up and ticked off. You're going to see more of this flash mob riots in stores. You're going to see more of this clashes with the police, more of this clashes with ICE. All this is just going to get worse as things go on. The economy's not going to do any better because everything's in the sewer. So the faith loss is going to trickle on down from the head to the citizenry and all the way down to the, I don't even know what you want to call these people now, the bum class, because you're seeing this at every major city in the country, bums just everywhere. Because, and I'm not even suggesting that it's, well, it is their fault in most situations, but in many instances, it's not. The economy just stinks. People can't afford to buy food. People can't afford to pay rent, buy basic functioning items like gas, like water and sewer and heat and air conditioning, all this stuff, man. People can't afford butt kiss. And one thing we're really going to see more and more is, I don't even know what this group is going to be called. It's not the bum class. It's kind of like the Winnebago class, the living in your car class, the transient automotive class. Maybe that's a better word for it, because people aren't train hopping anymore. People aren't just sort of nomadically wandering about. They're usually in a car now, and they can't afford to pay rent. They can't afford much, but they can afford just enough to sort of get them through the day, the next week, what have you. So they're just going place to place in their car and sleeping in their car. And what we're going to see more and more of, and you're already seeing this to a degree, is pretty much all the metropolitan cities are going to crack down on people doing overnight parking, and in essence, just crack down on people living in their cars. So they're forcing the transient automobile class out of their cities. I mean, you saw this where I live, goodness, like 30 years ago, where they would bus all the bums up and they would drive them somewhere else and put them in another city. And it's basically because they don't want the bad press. They don't want people getting off the planes, trains, and automobiles and stepping into the downtown and going, what? This looks like a third world hell. You know, like people say when they go to Philly and New York and LA and Detroit. Everywhere there's communist bleeps running the show. Anywhere there's commie bleep, people of color, DEI class professionals running the show. That's what you're seeing. What was this crap? I didn't even look at it. The Mondami or whatever this Muslim boob is that's now running New York. Just put the first, what is this thing? Tranny, gay, I don't know, whatever it is. Head of the fire department. Somebody that's never even touched a hose. Insert your jokes here. Is now the head of the NYC fire department. Looks like a bigger version of Pat from Saturday Night Live. This is what's running the fire department in New York. And people shouldn't be surprised because this is what is running all the metropolitan cities. Everywhere you've seen any sort of calamity in the last few years, you've seen just that. You've seen the police chief, the mayor. I mean, this kind of first got my attention when it was that creature in Chicago. Whoever the mayor of Chicago was, I don't even know. Some black chick that's a lesbian or something. Who knows? But that was kind of one of the first ones that raised my brow. And then since then, we've seen like everything else. Every time there's any calamity at all, I think it's the same person because it looks like the same person. They just kind of bring out the stage prop. Here's the person of color, tranny, lesbian creature that is head of the police, head of the fire department, mayor of the city, governor, whatever it is, county commissioner. It's always the same sort of actors. And you just kind of look at, how in the bleep is all of this the same? Like, it's really bizarre. It's all the same, you know? What are the odds? You know, like, here we are in America. What are the odds that every single leader in every single city of every single organization of every single institution, what's the odds that they're all the same thing? It's kind of creepy, isn't it? Just saying, just kind of strange. Muy extraño. So let's unpack the big image, shall we? The faith loss image. We got Bibi about to kissy kiss old DJT. And standing behind them is a satanic temple. And I kind of combine these two images because it rang so true to me. We are the synagogue of Satan. This is what the Bible has warned you about. We are it. The United States, los Estados Unidos, we are the synagogue of Satan. What was that crap from like 25 years ago? The Great Satan. It was all this, was it Iran propaganda and Muslim garbage talking about how the United States was the Great Satan. Like we were number one in the echelon of filth, and then it went down the list of other, bleep hole countries that were just scum. But the more you look at it, the more it's kind of like, well, dang. Is it wrong? Or is it just right? Because I would submit to you that we are the synagogue of Satan. We are that guy. We are the synagogue of Satan. That's what the United States has become, folks. Let me break it down for you. We celebrate all the occult holidays and call them holy days. Yeah, that's the United States. Although it's not on the books, every state has the obligation to murder children. So yeah, we're murdering over, what is it now, like 70 million kids have been murdered since Roe versus Wade. And it's still a thing. That'd be the synagogue of Satan again. We allow in every third world despot, people that you can imagine. We put them up in nice hotels. We give them limitless benefits and insurance and money. But yet the people that actually supposedly, although we know that they're not fighting for this country, the people that are in the military are fighting for Israel and fighting for other countries and most assuredly fighting for bankers. They're not fighting for you. If they were, they'd be in D.C. cleaning house. But the people in the military, those people, the veteran population that ends up homeless, yeah, we don't help them. They're just screwed. I mean, after you screw them up with Agent Orange, after you screw them up with the Gulf War syndrome from the depleted uranium rounds, after you screw them up by fighting these bankers' wars, then you're going to say, oh, well, now they have PTSD. Well, now they're damaged goods. And now they're not useful to us anymore. So bleep off. Just go jump in a lake. We'll move on to the next generation of boobs that bought into the State Department propaganda, pushed at the football games and the baseball games. And, you know, back when they used to actually do the pledge and real stuff, and it wasn't the black national anthem or whatever country you happen to choose national anthem, and it wasn't half the team taking a knee. Back when they actually still promulgated patriotism. But now they've lowered the standard, so who really cares? You know, you don't know who the bleep's in the military. Could be a fat guy, could be a fat girl, could be a fat transformer. You have no idea. But I guarantee you they couldn't do the same amount of entry-level things that the people in the military 20 years ago could. No es posible, clase. So again, great Satan. I don't know, man. If the shoe fits, it seems like you got to wear it, don't it? We give away billions and billions and billions of dollars. I have no idea how much. I just stopped counting. We need one of those tickers that always shows the national debt. Maybe we can get a ticker made that just shows the amount of money urinated away to every other nation on the globe other than this one. Because it's funny to me, it seems like we've always got money for thee, but not for me. I'm not saying me in the personal level. I'm saying money for thee any place else in the world, but not for me, the American people that live in this country, that are actual citizens of this nation. We don't have money for them. After all, I thought we were getting all this tariff money back. What happened to that? According to DJT, we're going to get like billions of dollars in tariffs back. You would think, and I'm not into socialism or communism, but you should probably consider, especially considering we are shafted with over 50% of our income through taxation. And yes, taxation is theft. You would think that the feds would write everybody a nice, handsome check and say, you know what? Thanks for playing the feud. You didn't win the game, but you get the at-home version of the game. Here's some money. Because they could give you money during the COVID hoax, right? Yeah. And if you remember, under the Barry Soetoro regime, we had too big to fail. You know, you might fail at a lemonade stand or your pool washing business or in your garage. But if you're a big multi-million-dollar conglomerate, you might be too big to fail. You might not be able to fail. In which case, we will swoop in with taxpayer funds and save you, GM. Right? Rules for thee, but not for me. That sounds like the great Satan indeed. Faith loss, folks. That's what people are witnessing. That's what people are finally coming to grips with. People are finally coming to grips with the fact that they are being shammed for so long. Everything that they've been taught has been a lie. Everything. I'm kind of doing a little tongue-in-cheek fun in the last 2 episodes talking about these pagan holidays. But they are. It's a lie. And the only reason I mention it is because I'm tired of people making fun of Halloween and saying, oh, you can't celebrate Halloween. Great. Well, don't celebrate anything. Okay? Because I'm going to keep celebrating Halloween. And y'all can keep celebrating the other pagan holidays. I don't care. It don't bring me any further nor closer away to El Dios. Just doesn't. Because it's all a con. It's all a hustle. It's all a dodge. Jesus never wanted you to celebrate his birthday. He never, ever put this in the Bible. This is lies, folks. This is lies. Every single holiday is a Constantine lie. Days of the week, months of the year, the calendar as we know it. Faith loss. You should have some faith loss. Because everything that people have told you is a bunch of horse manure. We went to the moon. No, you didn't. Are you kidding me? It was Lee Harvey Oswald. It was James Earl Wright. No, it wasn't. You're full of prunes. Full of prunes, folks. It's the lies that you tell yourselves. That's what leaves the lump in your pillow, man. It's like, what's that old fairy tale? The Princess and the Pea. Princess and the Pea. She put a little pea under the mattress, and only the chosen princess could feel the pea and note the discomfort, and because she wasn't lying to herself. It's my opinion that everybody else is comfortable with the lie. They're comfortable with the pea under the pillow. It's an old song. I used to like this band. I saw them once, I think. The Gadgets. Tell yourself at night to make you feel better, because you know you're not a sellout and you know you're not a quitter. The kind of stories that you tell yourself at night, the kind of stories to make you feel all right. And that's exactly what's going on, folks. People on the global scale, but surely on the nation scale, are experiencing a huge degree of faith loss. And people don't know how to deal with it. So people either admit that there's a pea under the mattress and they can feel it. They know that everything they've been told is a bunch of horse pee. Or they go along to get along and they don't want to admit that there's a big, huge lump under the dang mattress. The go along to get along gang. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Go along, get along gang. That's what most people are in. They don't want to stop telling themselves the lies, the fairy tales that they grew up on. Stop telling themselves the lies and fairy tales that make them feel all right, because it makes them sleep better at night. Because if you start going down the rabbit hole, you start figuring out, all the holidays are a scam. The calendar ain't real. Days of the week is all a bunch of horse pee. Then you got to come to the realization that, what are you working for? Well, you're working for a make-believe job to earn make-believe money, to pay make-believe bills, to pay make-believe taxes, to live make-believe lies. That's really what's going on, folks. You're working a job you don't really have to. It's the machine breaks down all over again. The short story I've referenced on this show countless times. Or is it the machine shuts down? Who cares? Just look up. You'll find it. Because you're slaving for why exactly? So you can buy things that God gave you naturally in the first place. Food, water, shelter. Shelter ain't that hard, really. There's 101 videos show you how to make a shelter in about 5-10 minutes. You just look at the video and figure it out for yourself. Even if you ain't living in the most spacious estate, you're still going to pay taxes on it. Going to pay taxes on the car, taxes on the gas, taxes on the house, all this. Make-believe money you don't even know. And the money's make-believe too. So once you start figuring this mess out, you're going to experience a great deal of faith loss. And if you stop whispering those lies to yourself every night and start actually thinking, you're going to come to some real discord, folks, some real problems. Because you're going to have to sit there and ask yourself, kind of like in the Matrix, what does it all mean? Blue pill, red pill, it doesn't even matter to me anymore. I don't think there's a difference. I think it's the same bull jive. You got people taking the blue pill, living in a delusional reality. You got people taking the red pill, living in a delusional reality. And both of them hating the black pill people. Black people just showing you what's going on. Like, here it is. I ain't part of the Matrix. I ain't part of the rebellion. I'm just part of this, showing you what the hell's going on. Your leaders are frauds. All those people you idol worship are frauds. Who we got on the idol worship scale? Let's see who we got. Because I ain't even touched on these people. I'm about to run out of time, for heaven's sakes. Let's see. Let me run a lightning round. We'll run through these clowns real quick. Candace versus Alex Jones. That's all I've seen on social media. Candace versus Alex Jones. Candace and Alex Emmerich Jones. Again, you got people finally wising up, finally waking up, and finally having a little faith loss. Because like I said before, they're all actors. Look up Candace. IMDb, she actress. Erica, actress. Charlotte, actor. Trumpy Trump, actor. So what are you actually watching, folks? Is this any different than Days of Our Lives? I don't think so. That's what I said this a couple times online, man. The death of the soap opera kind of coincided with the rise of the political soap opera. Because we've always had politics, but on the soap opera scale, not until the last 20 years. Not until the last 20 years. You get online all day and you can watch this crap all day long. And some people do, and it makes me sick. That's why I'm taking the show in a different direction. I can't cover this crap all day, every day. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. I'd rather watch Days of Our Lives. It was more entertaining. So Alex is mad at Candace because Candace is continuing to do the Charlie Kirk snipe hunt. Like I said before, I don't even know if the man's really dead. I ain't got no visuals on it. We've seen no birth certificate. We've seen no funeral. We've seen 8 or 9 wakes where she's crowdfunding millions of dollars on top of millions of dollars. So I think it's all starting to ooze out. I think people are finally understanding that Alex is sadly more than meets the eye. Candace, I always had my doubts and suspicions, and I don't really care. All I'm saying is she seems to be the only one going down the snipe hunt rabbit trail trying to figure out what's going on. Because it sure ain't the clown they keep showing you as the shooter. Christ, I'd put more money on Santa Claus being real than that guy being a shooter. It's a lie, folks. Goes right back to that morals and dogma thing. When you need a hero, one will be provided for you. And it will fit whatever size, shape, and color you need. You need a white male? Oh, we got you there. You need a black male? Oh, we got you there. You need a black female? We got you covered there too. Got you covered, folks. Any demographic you need. We got a paid influencer for you. And you can't tell me this jive turkey mess where these people ain't getting some money back. I got hit, I think it was a couple days ago, with some BS from Twitter talking about how they were going to, what was it? Shorten my reach or something. So shout out to Twitter for being a bunch of censoring scumbags. They're going to shorten my reach because they said that I was spamming by posting my show links, I guess. They didn't really give me any details, and they didn't give me any way out of it. So I say middle finger response to you all. So that being said, feel free to share my links on Twitter. That would make my cockles warm inside. So we got Candace and Alex. That's just more charade, B to the S. We got Trump loves Bibi. Maybe this should be a new reality show. Trump loves Bibi. That sounds like a good reality show to me. I'd watch it. And then what else we got all over the news, baby? We got MTG in a bathing suit. Everybody's just aghast. MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is in a bathing suit, and she cheated on her husband with some other husband, and she doesn't look good in a bathing suit. And oh, this is my favorite one. Oh, she took all this money while she was in Congress, and so what? Here's the deal, folks. You put these virtuous characteristics on people that are not virtuous. They're not. These are just flawed people just like everybody else. Here's another big deal. If you don't want the people in Congress to take this money, then maybe it should be illegal. Because it's not. Okay? Did you not figure that? Insider trading doesn't exist for people in Congress. It doesn't. That only exists for the plebs down here. So I'd love to pretend if I was in Congress and getting thrown all this money and basically living with security, having complete carte blanche, a car, a plane, and everything else, I'd love to think, yo, I'd be real virtuous too. But at the same time, it's not illegal to insider trade. It's not illegal to get all these kickbacks and contributions. So why would I say no? Am I going to get like a virtue check from my constituents? Is that what's going to happen? Oh, I'm going to say no to the money because the people that I represent are going to write me a check to match theirs. No, they're not. They're not. So I mean, I just find it kind of laughable, really. I'm not an MTG fan. I'm just going, yeah, okay. So what? Who's that drunk piece of trash, Nancy Pelosi? She's finally going to quit, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. And that other gay guy, Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, whatever. Are we holding these other scumbags to the same standard of virtuousness? I don't know. I'm just kind of funny to me. I'm not saying the chick looks good in a bathing suit. I'm not saying she should not or should have taken the money. I'm just saying, so what? People giving her all this heat because she just basically said, forget about it. I'm done. I'm done playing the game and getting screwed here. And here's the other one. They were mad at her because she's quitting like the day after she's eligible for like benefits for life or some horse pee. I'm like, I wouldn't definitely do that too. Are you kidding? Like people are mad at people for doing the obvious thing, which just makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. So MTG, everybody mad at you, girl. What else we got? Tim Walls. Excuse me. Tim Walls. And who's this other demon in Minnesota? Ilhan Omar. It's kind of oozing out that old Timmy Tim and Ilhan and I guess all the other cadre of Muslims that have been allowed to take over the whole state of Minnesota. There's apparently, imagine this, there's a scam going on. What? I can't believe it. So there's a daycare scam going on in Minnesota. I'm sure it's nationwide. But this is kind of starting to ooze out. There's fake daycares. There's a bunch of Muslim filth getting the money and whatever. Tim Balls is in on it too. Whatever. Who's surprised? What's that stupid surprise? Surprise, folks. How are you shocked about this? Please don't be that dumb. But what cracks me up is that people actually think something's going to happen to these people. That's what I keep wondering. Like, why do you people think this? I see people 8 days a week, twice on Sunday, posting pictures of Pam Bondi, talking about how she's not doing anything and wanting her fired. And just endless picture of Ilhan Omar and Tim Balls, thinking that's going to somehow put these people in jail. Same thing with Trump and Bibi and MTG too. Nobody is going to jail. So all the people on the right, post all these pictures as much as you want. It's a waste of your time. Just quit. It's stupid. Jeez Louise, folks, man. It's like, and there's another one that just hacks me off. I don't even know who this Nickelodeon actor is. Never heard of him, never seen him before. Apparently he's some vagrant bum, druggy piece of garbage on the streets of Los Angeles. Somewhere in California, maybe even LA. I don't even care. But in the last 72 hours, you would think that people had like found Jesus on the streets or something. People trying to get this cat into rehab, getting this cat in hotel rooms. He's trashing them. He's back living on the street, folks. But my question is, how is this cat any different than the millions of other people that are homeless on the streets of York City right now? Is it only because you have this parasocial relationship with this kid? The kid, he's like in his 20s, I guess. I don't know. Is it because you have that parasocial relationship, like you saw him on TV one time and you felt bad for him, but like meanwhile there's vets everywhere on the street and you don't feel anything for them. There's no like outcry, there's no outreach, there's no celebrity endorsement, there's no celebrities getting this guy into clinics and rehabs and facilities. There's none of that. It's just because this cat used to be a supposed star on Nickelodeon. It's pretty sketchy, folks. It's pretty sketchy. These are the same people just posting pictures of Pam Bondi all day. Pictures of BB. And pictures of Trump. Thinking something's going to happen. It's that old adage, if you poop in one hand and hope in the other, and see which one fills up first. I would ascribe that same adage to this whole scenario. Keep posting pictures of these people and poop in the other, and see which one changes first. See which one fills up, folks. Because I can guarantee you with 110% certainty, ain't nobody going to jail. Ain't nobody even thinking about putting these people in jail. If that were the case, you'd see all these clowns running for the hills. Hillary Clinton ain't hiding. She ain't going nowhere. Bill ain't hiding. He ain't going nowhere. Barry, Big Mike, they ain't going nowhere. James Comey's not going. He's on a fucking book tour. People, People still think these people are going to jail? I would tell you what's up. You know who is going to jail? You. Yeah. That's exactly right. So Palantir and J.D. Vance and all these different BS bills that now we are taxpayer funding that are going into place, that's coming for you, folks. That ain't coming for the people that are from another country. That ain't coming from the people that are stealing money from a fake daycare. That ain't coming from the people with a pedophile ring. That ain't coming from the people with Anthony Winter laptops. They're coming for you. That's who this is coming for. Just as the 9/11 false flag brought in the TSA, brought in the Patriot Act. This is going to do that too, because now if you say anything bad about our greatest ally, shame on you. You're finna go down. It's for you, folks. So if you were out riding a little bit too fast on this holiday weekend, you're going to get a ticket. You're going to go to jail. The real criminals are never going to jail, folks. You could kick in the door of your local Walgreens and walk out with as much crap as you could carry. I doubt you're going to jail. Especially if you're in a protected class. Shit. Ain't going nowhere, baby. It's rules for thee, but not for me, babies. That's how it always works. We're experiencing, I'd say, like stage 1 of the faith loss. And we're going to see that faith loss continue. And it's going to touch on all those different elements that we even vaguely mentioned. It's going to touch on the religious element. It's going to touch on the personal element. It's going to touch on the cultural element, the political elements, and, of course, our leader elements. It's going to be all those. So, in closing, I say don't lose faith in yourself. That's the only thing you got going for you is thyself, folks. That's the one constant that you're going to wake up next to. If you do wake up tomorrow, you're going to wake up next to yourself. So you can't wring hands, gnash teeth, and rend garments and hope that the president's going to save you, or the governor's going to save you, or the mayor's going to save you, or your friends or family are going to save you, or anybody else in this worldly plane is going to save you, because it ain't happening, folks. It ain't happening. You might say some prayers. Maybe you'll get something good from that. I don't know. What I can guarantee you is the one thing you're going to wake up next to if you do wake up tomorrow is yourself. That's the one element that you can count on is you. If you don't know how to do something, you need to figure it out. Ain't nobody coming for you. Ain't no cavalry coming. The Lone Ranger and Tonto, they're not over the hill. It's all BS, folks. It's just you. So if you need to figure out how to fix your car, how to make some food, how to grow some food, how to store some food, all these things, think about you. Stop thinking about the extrinsic. Think about the intrinsic. There's one thing you could take away from the show in the last few months. It's that. Stop worrying about other people and their bull jive. Focus on you and yourself. Put your mask on. Then you can put the wife's on, your husband's on, your kids on. And yeah, you can't help nobody if you're belly up in a creek. Got to focus on you. It's the one thing you got to do. Let the faith loss fly. It's only going to get a little worse. A lot worse. You can't do everything, but you can do something. Get out there, do your part, make a difference, and I'll be seeing you sooner than later in the anomic age.
Thank you for listening to The Anomic Age, a John Age project. For past shows, further info, and to comment, go to anomicage.com. That's ANOMICAGE.com. Till next time, thank you for listening to The Anomic Age.